Jorah Mormont is that creepy uncle at Thanksgiving that always demands a kiss on the cheek and makes you really uncomfortable, but you have to invite him because he's family. But he's actually got a number of weird things about him, so let's discuss them all in a deep dive, shall we? God, I hate Uncle Hansy over here. Now, the weird thing about Jorah, besides the fact that he's a 40-some-year-old man obsessed with a 14-year-old girl, is that he is a Northman who does not seem like a Northman. As a quick refresher, Jorah Mormont comes from Bear Island. That's an island on the western side of Westeros in the far north. They have issues with the Iron Islanders a lot because they are geographically close, and the Iron Islanders, they like to take shit that doesn't belong to them. But being from Bear Island, the Mormonts are descended from First Men. Ethnically speaking, they are First Men, as opposed to Andals, which is kind of the rest of Westeros mostly, and then you have some Roynish down in Dorne. And so the First Men are distinct because they are a separate ethnic group. Not only are they, descendants of different groups of people that came to Westeros at different times, but they also culturally have some major differences, primarily in the religion that they practice. The First Men, they worship the old gods, which were the same gods as the Children of the Forest, as opposed to the Andals, who worship the Faith of the Seven and all of the fun fantasy Catholicism that comes with that. So, with all this in mind, let's get to the question that prompted this video in the first place. Why do they refer to Jorah as Jorah the Andal if he's from the north and presumably also blood of the First Men? Now, the they in this case is the Dothraki. The Dothraki commonly call Jorah the Andal, which, isn't correct. As I just spent a minute pointing out, Jorah is Mormont, and so Mormonts on Bear Island are in the north. Northmen are First Men. Now, this oddity has a pretty simple explanation in that the Dothraki in general refer to Westeros as Reish Andali, and translated that means land of the Andals, because, there's a lot of Andals there. Now, I think this serves to kind of, in the world-building sense of things, show kind of an inverse to how Westeros kind of views the East, in that they kind of make these like big generalizations, and there's all of this kind of an Orientalist slant to thing. The idea being, people in Westeros, because they are so far removed, they have this like exoticized and overly simplistic idea of what the East Essos is. And so the inverse is kind of true from the other perspective. The Dothraki, who live on Essos, are never going to cross the ocean into Westeros. Their ideas of what Westeros are very general. And generally speaking, Westeros is made up primarily of Andals. Andals were a group of people that originated in the west of Essos, and they had a violent conquest of Westeros, and because they were so good at doing the killing, they were able to take over most of it. And so Westeros at this point is primarily made up of Andal descended people. So calling the place Land of the Andals makes sense from the Dothraki position, because why are they going to care about these specific specific minorities in this land that they don't have much of an understanding of, because it is so far removed from them and their way of life, what's important, what's in front of them right now. So Jorah is from Westeros. Westeros is the land of the Andals. Jorah, you're Jorah the Andal now. Congratulations. And Jorah seemingly gets this, which is why he's not going to be like, well, actually, ethnically speaking, I am first. He's not going to do that. He gets what they mean. They don't need to know the details of whatever. So he's Jorah the Andal now. However, that is not where the weirdness of Jorah ends. Again, not counting his obsession with looking at the 14-year-old girl he's in charge of, naked. You are such a creep. I can't fucking stand you. The other weird thing about Jorah is the fact that he is a knight. Now, knights are not a common thing in the North. Why? Because knighthood is tied to the Faith of the Seven, which again is the Andal religion. So this like further kind of like muddies his like first men versus Andal identity. So knighthood has a, you know, huge religious component to it, and that involves like you need to be anointed a knight by a religious figure, a septon. Now early in A Game of Thrones, it references that Jorah was anointed by the High Septon himself with the 7, you know, sacred holy oils, whatever is you know, the fantasy Catholicism shit. So the implication here is that Jorah is either like a practicing member of the, you know, the faith of the Seven, at least enough to receive a knighthood, or he's kind of just like putting on the show because he likes the idea of having a title. Because on Bear Island, he would have been raised, you know, first men with the old gods, but to get his knighthood, which he earned because he participated in the Greyjoy Rebellion, you know, on the side of Robert and Ned Stark, because House Mormont, they are bannermen of the Starks. So when Starks called their banners to war to put down the Greyjoy Rebellion, Jorah was there. He did a lot of butt kicking, cool shit, and then because he was so good, I believe Robert like knighted him, and then the High Septon anointed him with the 7 oils and shit. But anyway, to earn his knighthood, he would need to essentially like convert, or at least like pretend to convert. So it begs the question, like, did he? Like he never really like discusses a faith of any kind. So what's the deal? Now I'm gonna put my 2 cents down. This is my opinion based on my very ungenerous view of this character, and I'm gonna say that based on the fact that he like never talks about any sort of like real religious faith, I don't think he really believes in anything. I don't think he believes in the old gods. I don't think he believes in the new gods. And so when, you know, he did all the butt kicking in the Greyjoy Rebellion and Robert offers him a knighthood, he thinks, you know, like, that sounds good. And knights have like a level of prestige in this society. And what's saying a few words to make, you know, the fantasy pope, why can't I say fantasy pope? Make the fantasy pope happy by like being like, yeah, sure, I believe in the 7 who are 1, who are 7, who are, well, you know, the Catholicism. So he probably just like said what he needed to say because he thought that being a knight sounded cool. He got the title, he got the anointments and all of that, and now he gets to be Sir Jorah, one of the few knights in the North. Also, before someone goes off in the comments, there are knights in the North. There's just like not a ton of them, and typically there is the question of like, what is your religion if you're a knight but you're up here? Because again, it's just it's inherently tied together. In summary, Jorah the Andal is, you know, it goes a little deeper than the surface meaning that we think of. He's kind of an odd duck. I assume he did it for shitty reasons because, you know, he does everything for shitty reasons. Hey, she's 14, leave her alone, friend. He's not my friend. I would never be friends with Uncle Hansy. Are you kidding me? But anyway, please leave in the comments what character you would like me to do a deep dive on next. I'm happy to do them, even on characters that I don't like, obviously. So yeah, hope everyone has a good night. Goodbye.